Well, then the IEC is still exploring legal options after a recommendation that the October local government elections should be postponed. We can discuss this now with Dr. Gugulethu Xaba, who is with the Tshwane University of Technology, talk about the implications of the recommendations, both at the local polls be postponed, as well as the situation that you're dealing with, Doctor, where you yourselves on campus are trying to keep campus democracy alive. SRC elections a big challenge. What do you see as the similarities between that campus moment and the national discourse?
Yeah, good afternoon. The similarities between the two democracies is that a university is actually a sum total of society. So the indication is that we've got about 1 million young people in higher education. So if 1 million youth are participating in online elections in higher education, it means that there are 1 million young people who qualify to participate in elections who are already experimenting with high technologies like voting and participating on online elections. If you can check the higher education landscape, almost all universities now are moving towards online elections. What does that tell us about the youth? It means the youth are amenable to utilizing technologies which are available elsewhere in the world. In South Africa, the South African youth. So it means even the IEC in the future, we are taking away the fear of technology, which young people in higher education are beginning to trust. Just like they are doing online banking, now they are doing online voting. So this has good implications for our country in the future. As you can see, there is no confirmation that such epidemics like your COVID-19 are not going to happen again on Earth. So it means this thing of having big crowds, big groups, may be staying with us and the world for a time like of the future. So when we see young people in higher education, about 1 million of them, beginning to participate in online elections, that is spelling the possible future for us in South Africa. I'm sure in the future, the former Deputy Chief Justice can be tasked to find out what's the appetite of people in South Africa for engaging in online elections. When we're having at least 1 million young people already participating in this space, I'm telling you the future is indeed bright, that we can be able to have that appetite in the future with this generation of participating in online elections.
Of getting rid of a fear of technology, but there's also a very genuine lack of access to technology in South Africa, which would again, I'm just drawing those parallels between your campus elections where I think at TUT alone, 60,000 students are supposed to take part in the upcoming SRC elections. You look at the country at local government level, some parts of the country, people would not be able to participate in a vote that was strictly online.
It's not necessarily true, Our people, like myself, I'm always sending my mother, my uncle's e-wallet. They receive this money through a cell phone. So the type of technologies which are used for elections are the similar technologies. Kenya was the first one to show us about internet banking utilizing a cell phone. It's a country more poor than South Africa. So sometimes we tend to elevate this poverty as if people don't have access to these simple technologies like a cell phone. If you look at the traction of cell phones in South Africa alone, a majority of our people have cell phones. So as such, they can be able to utilize the cell phone to participate in such. This is something that does not require big technologies. It does not require you to have a lot of money to be able to participate. So even if the government can roll out the giving away of free cell phones to people, it's going to be a very cheap exercise. So that it can enable people to participate in elections.
To my mind, when you
talk
about...
cheaper than having people queuing and have a possibility of having and catching diseases on those particular queues. Actually, cell phone companies should praise themselves to actually, and other young businesses should praise themselves of offering rental services for cell phones so that people can participate in such activities in the future. That will be a simple exercise, and everybody, even my grandmother, understands how to utilize these technologies. So sometimes we elevate this thing as if we've got a big problem when Kenya has shown us That
Dr.
majority
Xaba,
of the people don't even go to the bank.
pardon me for jumping in here, but we're running out of time. And I want to, when you talk about making it easy, right? Yes, everyone's got a phone that at a basic level is able to download an application such as WhatsApp, for example, right? So that's quick and easy to use. Yes, there's end-to-end encryption between conversations. And I'm not saying we should use WhatsApp to vote, let's just be clear. But if we were to go in a route similar to that, what about the security concerns around voting? Would we be able to protect the integrity of an election that happened mainly online?
We already have integrity of banking. If I'm able to send my mother money, money is the most risk, is the biggest risk is money, is losing money. More than losing an election is losing money. So if people are comfortable with not losing money by using these simple technologies, I'm sure they can be able to use the same technology to vote.
All right, Dr. Xaba, Gugulethu Xaba with the Tshwane University of Technology speaking to us there about South Africa's elections conundrum. The local government polls at this stage looking likely to be postponed to 2022 by no latest February is when it's supposed to happen.